Hi there, and welcome to the first edition of Clicks and Giggles. So I'm joined by Head of Socials and Creatives with Allyce. Hi, Allyce.
Hello.
So hopefully you're excited about this. So what is Clicks and Giggles? Clicks and Giggles is basically a monthly chat where we try and debate lightheartedly the latest and greatest things that are happening in digital marketing. So for the first episode, I thought it was pretty obvious that we were going to try and talk about AI and particularly AI videos. What do you think about that, Alice? Because obviously you're creating content a lot of the time for socials,
Yeah.
which social media love videos.
hmm
Um, so what have you? I mean, AI videos have been around for a little while, but they've been pretty poor, wouldn't you say?
Yes, definitely. I think it's taken a leap recently. I'm sort of comfortably in the AI image creating realm at the moment, but video to me now it's quite new and seeing just how advanced it's got very quickly is I mean it's exciting, but it's also a little bit scary.
Yeah, I think everybody's slightly cautious about where this is going, and hopefully we're going to try and discuss some of these things in this chat. So, as you mentioned just recently, the videos have kind of taken a massive leap, particularly VO3. Most people might have seen some of it. They've probably seen some content, and whether they realise it was VO3 or not is debatable. But the reason why this has gone to a different level is VO2 and other ones weren't able to have audio on the videos. Now VO3 has come out with audios and the quality is incredible. And to the point, when it first came out, you got, I think it came out in the States first maybe, and you had loads of guys and girls creating some videos and put it on Twitter just saying, have a look at this. And then you get threads of all these incredible videos. And you're actually getting people on there saying, I'm not going to believe this is AI just because you told me so. So that people are now actually saying, no, this is real. This is AI just because you said so. It's that good and that realistic. Um, so it's obviously got all our attention. And obviously we do videography. So Peter's probably sweating.
Yeah.
He's probably put his camera on eBay or something.
It's ready to give it all up.
Yeah. So we're thinking, right, how are we going to use this? What we're going to do with it? And that was, I don't know, VO3 came out maybe a month ago.
hmm
Time flies, could be more.
Yeah, it might be more actually.
And so we're trying to think what we're going to do. And I've got to be honest, a month on, are you any wiser as to how we're going to use it?
I think the more that we've been looking at it, and maybe it's just that's because this is the type of video that's taken off and got attention on socials. It's kind of the out there, wacky, grab your attention. Like you say, that whole debate, is this real? So I think for us, it's kind of sitting there thinking, how does this translate to our real professional businesses and clients that we're working with? And I mean, there's definitely I think there's room for it in there in those businesses. It's just I think finding what's going to work for them. Like we said, I know we've got a few sort of fun clients that I think we could push the boat and do some sort of wacky videos with. But there's definitely some professional businesses that we work with that would not,
Yeah,
respond
so,
well to
so you're
video.
saying wacky, and I think I know why. If I share my screen, you might have, everybody might have seen some examples out there on social media. One of the big things that I keep seeing, maybe because I'm based in Yorkshire at the moment, but these like Yorkshire humour, and they just keep repeating these kind of like a press reporter will be interviewing usually quite elderly Yorkshire people, and they'll be just coming back with stupid, ridiculous responses. So you know it's fake. Um, so a lot of the videos that have been sort of shared on social media and going viral are clearly fake.
Yeah.
There are examples where people could think these are actually genuine, but a lot of these videos again will, like for example this one, it's kind of playing on the knowledge that people know this is fake, even though it looks incredibly real. So if I just play this,
Ma'am, would you like to become a robotheist?
It's a robotheist.
It's someone who believes that artificial intelligence is God. Sir, would you like to become a robotheist?
What's a robotheist?
It's someone who believes in the robot religion.
okay, so obviously they're playing on the fact, talking about AI and this, that, the other. Now that is completely AI generated, but you're thinking that does look pretty real. Could we not think of a way of clients? You'll probably see a lot of videos again on social media where people go, I think I've seen something about vape. Someone will go, oh, hi there, do you vape? And they go, yeah. Well, why don't you try this? And then this has got this, that, and this is why it's better. And they just do it on the street. And because it's on the street and it's real, it does better on social media. It's kind of like user-generated content, UGC, which works really, really well. So you think, right, can we do that? But then you've usually got a product in your hand. If you try and do the AI to put a product that is yours in the hand, it's not necessarily always going to be as accurate. And there is still sort of a glossiness to these videos that kind of make you think, is this real? Is it not real?
Yeah, it's like the AI veil, isn't it? You can just tell.
So there's so many questions that we're trying to think, how do we use this? Because user-generated content is really, really important. It's quite hard to get people to get your product, unwrap it, use it, and give some positive feedback on social media. You can do it with influencers. But again, if you do it with influencers, you're not going to use AI, are you? Because the whole point of influencers is that real person has a following. If you're just going to get AI robots doing that, it's not going to have the same effect. So what are we going to do with it?
I know, and I think
could we use it for UGC?
I think so. I think, like I mentioned, so where I'm at with it, like I said, maybe it's just because it's new to us and we're used to the old-fashioned way. But my only worry is coming from brands. Do we want people to think that we're tricking them? That this is UGC, but actually it's because we've told these AI UGC people to say this. So I think at the moment where I'm comfortable with trying it, for clients is maybe in more of a humorous way, like you said, where the audience will be in on the joke. They know that it's VO3 that we're using, whatever. But I think it's that honesty part where do we want people, like you said, to realise this isn't real, and then does that have a negative backlash for that client?
You probably find a lot of startups that are probably more risky just to try and get got low budgets. They haven't got any connections. They haven't got a videographer. All these kind of things. I think, what, I'm going to try this. And it will probably work for a lot of companies. But as you get a bit of a reputation, you've got a following and stuff, you'll probably start to be a bit more cautious about how you're creating content and whether or not it's legitimate or not. I mean, here's an example of a tech company that I haven't heard of, but so it's quite relatively new, I presume. And they had an ad that aired during the NBA Finals, which probably cost them a fair whack. But the actual video only cost $2,000 to make and 2 days. So that really was probably just the agency charging $1,000 a day to make the video. The actual cost of the AI is very, very little. So this got quite a bit of news. And again, I'll share this as to what kind of advert they put together.
Will egg prices go up this month?
I think we'll hit $20. How many hurricanes do you think we'll have this year? You let you legally trade on anywhere in the U.S.
Okay, so 6 months ago, that would have looked like a fairly high budget advert, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That would have cost you
a lot of money,
if not hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
And they've done it for a couple of grand. So obviously they've done it. They've used VO3 and they've done it really, really well. And it's worked for them, I suppose, because it's a tech company. It's not a product you can show. They're trying to grab attention. They haven't got continuity in that video, have they? Which is hard to get. So the VO3, you've got like 8-second clips. You can try and continue those. But you can see with that, they're just doing very distinct shots, one by one, just to have that kind of impact. And I think they might have done a slight bit of After Effects editing with a text underneath it. But I I mean, they've done a good job, haven't they? But
They are.
that if you want to have that kind of wacky, as you say,
Yeah.
impactful video that people know isn't real,
Yeah,
I think it can work.
absolutely.
And so, yeah, back in the day, I think you would be getting an influencer, like these companies would probably be paying a sports famous sports person or something like that to be their kind of sponsor and what have you, to try and get a better impact and influence people. That's still going to be in play, isn't it? Like Gymshark back in the day, would they have started using VO3 rather than actually sending out, hundreds or thousands of t-shirts and products to
Well, they could have had a shark walk in the streets handing out t-shirts.
Yeah. Yeah, but I suppose but they were sort of sending out to micro influencers, weren't they? So that
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And it does beg the question, I'm sure, you could put David Beckham doing this, and that it will produce it, but there's got to be some sort of new laws or some regulations put in place now for these celebrities, these influencers, whatever it is, where you can't just use my face.
Yeah, I think they might get into trouble for that.
That's the thing. So it's there is still going to be that need and the money in it in that sense when you want endorsement like that.
And I was at a business the other day. They're a titanium specialist. So they make, fabricate, stock, supply titanium for aerospace, military, and all this kind of stuff. And they've got, a big kind of warehouse, workshop. Again, VO3 is going to be no good for them, is it? You want to video the people, the actual people.
Yeah.
You video the place. So then start doing a fake video of where they might work and all the rest of it. It just wouldn't work.
No.
And their clients, if they did ever go to their store or their workshop and go, well, this doesn't look like the same thing. So videos are still going to be made this. I mean, another one with we've just videoed a series of videos for a kind of leisure group.
Oh yeah.
They've got 5 different kind of venues and activities and that kind of thing. Again, AI is going to be absolutely useless for that, because we actually want people going to visit it, so they need what it looks like.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let me know what you're thinking before I show you my first attempt at using VO3. And bear in mind, I'm not a video editor.
I was going to say on the other hand, so for maybe just a simple video I can think of is, we obviously have a sort of bespoke travel agent that we work with, and obviously has beautiful pictures of these lovely resorts in the Maldives. That's where all the packages are. Could you use AI video to sort of bring that to life? So instead of just some pretty pictures or a quick video that she may be able to get on her phone herself, could AI really bring that alive? And on a more maybe simple scale, I think it would work really well for a client like that.
Well, that would make sense, and that brings me on to actually trying to use. Yeah. I mean, I again, this was done within the space of sort of 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I was basically saying, could you create a face-to-camera sort of video of a digital marketing director? So I was going to try and recreate it. So let's just say, I don't know, I'm camera shy. I don't like to video edit. I don't have a camera, or all these kind of things. I'm going to get somebody else to do this for me. That was kind of the first attempt. And then I realized, oh, no, I didn't select VO3, so no voice comes out of it. Then I tried it again. And then the text was all over the place. I didn't want text.
Hi, it's Dan here at Strategy Plus. We are a HubSpot certified.
That was my mistake, so I didn't spell strategy.
That was user error.
Hi, it's Dan here at Strategy Plus, and we are a HubSpot
certified. Put the text back on, because anyway, I managed to kind of get there in the end. And then I wanted to extend it. So I was trying to play around with that, and then because I didn't select it the right way, I obviously got a completely different character. The text came back on, there was a different accent. So a lot of this is user error and playing around with it, but you can choose either text to video or frames to video. So you can upload like an image of the beach, for example, and just say, right, okay, can you create a setting with showing I don't know, an elderly couple lying on sun loungers, enjoying a cocktail with the waves just sort of splashing in front of them, kind of stuff. So that might only last, 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds, which is all you need, and we can overlap
Yeah.
the text on the top,
Yeah.
and use that as a nice little sort of Facebook advert.
Yeah.
Because on social media, obviously the adverts don't need to be very long at all.
No.
So that I think there definitely is a place for it.
Yeah.
Clearly, they wouldn't have spent all this money making it.
Yeah.
I have seen some videos where they've kind of put like a movie scene together, which just is insane. But I reckon there's quite a lot of effort that's gone into that. But I still think probably 70% of the videos that are created now are still made in the same way. It's just,
I think so. And I think, like I said, just touching on what I said earlier, I think it's just a mind shift. It's new to us, so that maybe, if we see a video and we're not sure if it's AI or not, it makes us feel uncomfortable. But, the younger generations, as they get older, that will be their norm, and that's what we're sort of getting into. So they probably won't have a problem with it because that's all they've known. But for us, it might feel like we're being lied to.
Yeah. I think there are a couple of now AI influencers, actual influencers.
Yes, there are millions of followers as well.
So I'm not quite sure how that works.
Yeah.
It's like having say Alexa.
Yeah.
Has now got like an Instagram profile, and Alexa has now got sort of a face and a body to it, and I don't know what she's doing on Instagram to try and get followers. But it's strange, isn't it, that influencers could actually be just an AI figure, character that's been created by somebody or a company. And you think, why don't you just get a person to do it? But then, is a person unreliable? Person gets ill. Person
says the wrong thing.
Nice. Whereas an AI character could pretty much just go on. So it doesn't matter if you've got a big company. It's like having Frosties, Tiger.
Tony the Tiger.
Tiger. It's just like having Tony the Tiger, isn't it? Just
yeah.
Cartoon character as your kind of brand ambassador.
Well, yeah, there is a bit of that, isn't it? Like you say, it's just it's animation, but it's looking a lot more real than it ever did.
Yes, So on that, we're still talking about this is clearly not real. This is a animated figure.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to get to the stage. I mean, you don't like if you own a company, you're doing meet the team and all this kind of stuff. You want the real people on there. I don't know that many businesses that would want. I don't know. Let's have a look at adverts. So who's the guy for Go Compare?
Oh yes, our mate, the singer.
Worked if they did an AI version of that guy. Now that guy's obviously made a pretty penny, and it's actually become a bit of a kind of a celebrity off the back of it.
Yeah, he was on Strictly Come Dancing.
There you go. So wherever he goes now, if he's getting paid by the insurance company Go Compare, he's probably still actually, unless he does something weird and unhelpful or whatever to the brand, he's actually always going to help that brand. But do you think there's a place? I think there's definitely, unfortunately, if you are sort of an actor or probably a model, shall I say, a model out there that nobody really knows, like an ASOS. No offense to any models on ASOS or these websites, but they're not a Naomi Campbell.
No, they're not a household name, are they? No.
Any unknown actors that are models online, if they're doing the catwalk, then you still need to do the catwalk physically. Just doing online kind of photos and videos and stuff on there, I think they might be out of a job.
I think they could be. Well, they do that, don't they, on ASOS? They have that option to see the video of these models walking. Do they need them to do that? Do they need to pay them the extra money to stay and video these?
No, so as long as they can get a decent accurate representation of the clothes, if they can, it's still an if, because it's got to look absolutely accurate. Because if
it has,
it's got, that was slightly different color, or the way that he walked, it's like this, or it didn't seem that long, whereas I've got this. So it's got to be absolutely accurate, and it's only a matter of time before that.
Well, that's what I mean. That's not impossible, is it? Because we look at the videos now in comparison to even like, a couple of years ago, and people now are questioning if it's real. So they will get there. They will 100% get there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on that note, I think we're safe to say that Peter's still in a job.
He's still in a job for now.
Cameras, but I think we've still got to. It's just another tool, isn't it? Another option.
It is, yeah.
We're trying to create content. We're trying to create an advert for a client. This, that, the other. And previously something might have been out of our remit because of budget and all the rest of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Now we actually do that, and I think you did mention there's a bin bag manufacturer who work, and there's been lots of ways in which we were going to try and create some content, but sometimes the influencers didn't want to cooperate or this, that, the other. And in fact, now why don't we just create a wacky video to show off the heavy dutiness of this?
Yeah.
So it's definitely just another tool to our armory, I think.
Absolutely. Still needs us to program it, so we're still in a job for now.
For now. Okay, well, thanks, Allyce. Thanks for your time this morning, and I hope you enjoyed watching, and we'll hopefully see you for the next episode next month.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.